Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Justice. I'm Director of Education US and Global Innovation with EON Reality. And I'm here for a customer use case series and webinars that have been ongoing to highlight some user cases of how we use the EON-XR platform, or how our clients are using the EON-XR platform. With me today is Peter LaMonica, who's the Department Chair of Manchester Community College. And I'd like to say welcome, Peter, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And just a couple of things of information I'd like to ask you before we get started is, first, could you give us maybe a little bit of information about Manchester Community College, where you're located and type of institution you are and so forth?
Manchester Community College is located in New Hampshire. It's one of 7 community colleges in the system. We're located in the largest city in New Hampshire. In our programs, we have cybersecurity, we have cloud services, IT, and computer programming within my department. And we're using EON in all 3 of those different programs, mostly right now in the cybersecurity one, but we're starting to move those into the other programs as well.
Okay, so those are your specialization. What are your students and faculty like in those programs, and how are they oriented to use of technology such as this?
Well, most of our students, because they are in the computer science department and cybersecurity, are all savvy when it comes to computers and the use of computers. My staff, I have one other full-time instructor that works with me, and the rest are adjuncts, so they're working all part-time, but they've all taken to this very quickly. It really is, it's just so simple to use, and to create new lessons really is so easy that I haven't had any complaints from anywhere in the department.
Awesome. That's our goal, being that easy creation process for creating very unique and different kinds of applications. So I've been looking at some of the things that you've done, and I thought we would maybe take a few seconds here and go through and watch just a few snippets and outtakes of some of the lessons that you've created, and we'll maybe talk about those just a little bit and just kind of get your thinking and how those were created, and I'd like to share some insights that I had, what made me choose those as really unique and different applications. So I'll start our video here, and we can roll right along. All right, so this first application is, you might tell us a little bit about what's going on here. I think it's very unique in the fact that you designed your own models for the purpose of the instruction that you're doing. So I'll let you share with us a little bit of what's happening here.
Well, one of the things that we found that we can do very easily with these labs is to show the students concepts rather than just hardware parts. And I can now show students what's in my head, so what it is I'm thinking about and what it is I'm visualizing, so that they can more easily visualize those things as well. Sometimes talking about concepts, especially in an online environment, is pretty difficult to do. But using something like this makes it a whole lot easier for us.
Yeah, it gets you a graphical view of, you can't look at a perimeter firewall in person, but that object that you see there is just one of the ways that you can help maybe visualize that a little bit more clearly, or at least zoom in your knowledge or your thinking about what you're learning about as you see it in the collection. And that was one of the things, just kind of seeing this in this tree form with all the parts and components that made it engaging to me. To figure out, wow, that's really a creative way to approach something that's kind of an abstract topic.
Yeah, exactly. We've got one where we're talking about the OSI model, and that's a complete concept. And doing that in the same way we've done this one, it gives students something to look at and to feel when they're studying their lessons. So
I'll stream along a little bit here and take a look at another application that I found that you were using, and I want to go to show, before we move on to that to think about it's an abstract concept, and now you're able to place it on your desktop in front of your computer as you're working,
right,
and start looking at this model in the same way. So very easily now you can see from cloud to platform to firewall to all those security pieces that are there. That's a different way of looking at a model or something, a concept like this. And I think that's a very engaging process. So I moved along and I found this other application, which you were talking about, punch down blocks with tools. So talk a little bit about this application and how it's used.
Well, this one actually took us a while to put together because of the complexity of some of the models that we're using there. But once we got the asset the way we wanted to use it, just putting all the tools together and being able to show students how to use that tool and what the tool was like, again, really brought it all home. So I no longer need to drag students into a computer room with all these things punched down onto the wall. They can just bring it up in VR or AR or even on their desktop and have a look at it and see what it's like and how to use it and what's exactly what and what's inside. It really makes things a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I can see that, and especially when you get into micro sizes of things, it's hard to visualize. I cut the snippet short of the video, but it was really cool when you could see the real world and then have that overlaid with the virtual world, and you can get a sense of size and scale as you work with it. And I think where you can zoom these items up larger and work with them and manipulate them in different ways. This is another example of how you can share a connector with students in a large scale kind of way that's hard to see when you have several students with it.
Yeah, and that was a fairly easy one to create. There's not a lot of pieces to that. But again, it's an easy way to show students what's inside and how it works, and to ask students questions about that particular kind of cable and what its capabilities are.
Are there any subjects, courses, or topics that you feel that you excel in EON-XR? What do you think are your strongest areas in using the platform?
I think my favorite area of using the platform is the concept part, where I'm not using a fixed piece, like the punch down blocks. While those are great, and now I don't have to hand things around the classroom. When we're talking about concepts, this brings up a whole new area that we didn't even consider when we started using VR. And it really makes things a lot simpler for students to understand. And I think I like that one because it's not something I expected to be doing.
Do you think that the platform itself has helped expand your creative thinking in how you design lessons in ways that are different from how you perhaps have designed things in the past before you had XR as a tool?
Yeah, in the past, the best I could do was to pass things around a classroom or have students to take them on a tour of a wiring closet. I don't have to do that anymore. Once we have these labs in place, we can simply assign these labs to students, and they can, all of that is done this way. We also have now the ability to allow students to create these labs. So in my capstone class, the assignment in the capstone class was pick something that you really had a hard time understanding while you were here and create lessons from that. Yeah. And in doing that, the students are now learning more about those items that they missed before.
I really like that. That's an awesome idea, and that's where I was heading. I see you as being very innovative and creative in the way that you're using the objects and all that are in the platform. Well, Peter, thank you very much for taking time to share with us, and we'll be watching to see what other new and exciting things you all create in the future. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.